Morning, everybody. Yeah, well, as it isn't morning anymore, in my opinion. But anyway, and welcome to the first test stream of beanie painting. I started with this hobby half a year ago, I think, and I find it very interesting to see the progress on different stages of the mini painting journey. So I thought maybe I just capture these things with a stream and look where it goes. Today I have to adjust a little bit so that I see my actual camera today, and I have to adjust this too. So it's the test stream, so failures can happen. This is the model I want to paint today. And the focus lies on painting the skin of this little guy. It's a froggy from Loot Studios, and I have painted one of those frogs already. They have two models of it, one more like a king of frogs, and this one is more a soldier or warrior of those frogs. Anyhow, I wanted to paint them with a really strong, colorful green. And like the tomato frogs, but just not in red, it's then in green. And yeah, that's the experiment today. What I sadly cannot really show you is the step where I mix the colors, but I can show you the colors I will use. I've got my hands on those Chimera colors, and I painted the other guy already with Chimera colors, but I don't remember the colors anymore I have used, so this is like I have never painted it before. So those are the three colors I try to use. It's a little bit out of focus, yeah. And yeah, let's see how it goes. At first, of course, I have shaken bottles already. So I just put a little bit on my wet palette. By the way, it's also arrived, and I've never used this wet palette until now. So it's really an experiment today. I have now a little dot of green on my palette. Yeah, I quite remembered that the green was really thin on the Chimera colors. So I guess I don't have to use, where is it? Where is my glaze medium? Here. I often use this glaze medium because if I mix the colors with water, it's sometimes like it dries faster, I don't know. And this, if you hear it, is my mixing station there. Yeah, I have bad joints, so I have gotten me one of those too, but it's a cheap one. And it really helps for me to mix the colors. So I just take a little bit of the green, and then just a little bit of the yellow to mix a beautiful froggy green. Yeah, this looks... Oh, I have forgotten to wet my brush already. Yeah, this is a fun beginning, a really fun beginning. So I will just wet my brush a little bit in my water. And let's see, a little bit more yellow, I guess, for a wonderful greenish color. Yeah, that's something I really would like to have. Something I can show the wet palette, because I cannot... The wet palette is a little bit difficult to, yeah, how should I say, to angle it so that the water does not come out. Yeah, I already made a mess. It's really funny to watch me paint, because I will always make something different than the other time, and I will mess up a lot. But that's the fun on painting, right? to adjust. And now we have a little bit of green, I hope you can see it. And it's a little bit darker than I wanted to at the end, but that's okay. We will lighten it up with time. But I think it's still a little bit too dark. And I see I have to adjust my position. Oh, it's difficult to paint and at the same time to have the miniature at the right position so you guys can see what I'm doing. Oy, that is a challenge. But anyway, we will do this now. And just put a little bit of the colors here. I'm doing this at the moment very carefully just because everything is new. Maybe in time you will see that I can go a little bit faster, or I will go a little bit faster at the moment just for, let's say I don't want to stress myself out just because I'm streaming. This is a hobby that should be relaxing. Just feel how the brush goes over the mini and the paint flows more or less automatically on where it should be, more or less. Maybe you hear or not hear that I don't have any music put on. That's for different reasons. One of the big reasons is, of course, the YouTube copyright thing. I do not want to have any difficulties with anything in this direction. That's always it's a mess to fix those copyrights violations, even if you don't really how should I say, want to do these violations. It can happen even if you use free music. Some people that have provided free music in the past have had to turn back and remove it from the free music thing or whatever. They have now a normal copyright license on their content because so many people misused it. They have uploaded the music and then claimed it as their own, so that's not fair. And that's very sad. I think music should be free. Not free so the musician cannot earn anything, but free in case of that it's easy to say it's free in this case. But that's not a bad thing, because everybody has another taste of what he likes to listen to, and so feel free to just put on your music that you like and listen and or watch what I'm doing here. I really like my new wet palette. It's from Redgars Gaming. That's not a sponsor. I'm doing this the first time, so I don't have any sponsor. That's all from me, what I'm doing here. All fails from me. Well, if I would be sponsored, it's still my fails would be from me, but you know what I mean. I'm doing this for just myself. Maybe somebody is watching, maybe somebody likes what I'm doing here. That's cool. I would really love to help people. I mean, I'm no way a proficient in miniature painting. I mean, I do it for half a year and very irregularly. So it's I mean, you see I struggle with getting the paint on my mini, but I think that's something you don't see that often, the journey to getting a good mini painter. Like here, it's difficult to get for me there, and I shake a little bit. I have not the most steady hands, and I am really struggling with my space right now, because here is my microphone. Yeah, you don't see it here, and my brush is constantly hitting the microphone. Oh, sorry if I just made any noise that was not really enjoyable for you. So yeah, I have to learn much about streaming and painting. I guess the talking stuff I'm doing all right. I mean, I have streamed in the past different stuff than this, and I think I have just deleted most of it because it's not really needed anymore, and I'm not sure how it would violate any copyright stuff, as I said before. Because in the past it was much easier to just put on a stream and don't really have to look all the stuff out. I think I have made the color a little bit brighter, right? If you watch this, the hand is a little bit brighter, and the focus is a little bit. Maybe I can focus it so that you see it better. Maybe so it's better for you. And if it's out of focus or I'm moving it somewhere that you can't see it or something, just write it in the chat and I will adjust it. I mean, like it now it's very difficult to paint with the stream on, but hey, I will figure it out. I will figure it out. I think I have just a little bit too much thinned down now. That's also the reason, maybe because it's lighter. Who knows? So I've just mixed a little bit more color in it. Let's see now. So this is a good position. And yeah, new beginnings. That's the topic of today's streams. I mean, it's perfect for me to talk about if I'm starting something new like this, streaming while painting. And I should think of talking stuff. It's always good to have a topic prepared, or more or less prepared. I mean, I'm not the guy who prepares everything, or the woman. So just to choose a topic for me is that's kind of much work, because there are so many topics I could talk about. From work stuff, I'm working as a software engineer, to mental health stuff, to D&D is a big topic, and I think we will cover this topic earlier or later, I'm sure. Of course, also general topics of mini painting and so on. And we have drifted away again from the main topic, new beginnings. New beginnings are scary. I have planned to make a mini painting stream for so long now, and it scared me. It really scared me. I mean, I'm live, and I'm not really a pro painter or something. I just slap on paint more or less and think a little bit about the light and a little bit about where to put the color and which color scheme, but I'm not. Yeah, there are so many others out there who are proficient in what they are doing. On the other hand, as I said, I try to look at it like a journey. You can watch me how I improve. And maybe this motivates you to also start painting, or to see that it's always a challenge to start with something, and it will never really, how should I say, it's always a progress to make something look good. Maybe it's talking and painting, it's getting really, that's a challenge. Anyway, maybe you think your minis are bad, but maybe it's just because you compare it to all those proficient painters out there. Some of them even have an art degree, and that's not something that's easy in today's world. All things are looking so perfect, and that makes it difficult to start something, because you have the feeling like you have to be perfect, but you don't have to. Even those who have perfect, let's say, like makeup or something like this. I don't have any idea of makeup, even if I'm a woman. I don't do makeup. I have not the. Ooh, how should I say it? I don't like to have paint on my face. Let's say it like this. And I don't have the. English is a difficult language. No, it's not really. I don't think so. What I mean is, English is not my main language, which makes this not easier to stream and at the same time paint, and then at the same time the stream is another language that you do not speak regularly. I do a lot of things in English, but speaking English is a different thing than just watching videos or reading books. Oh, I'm a little bit out of focus, I'm sorry. And so it's even harder to start with this dream thing. And I wanted to make it in English just because I can train a little bit my English. And if there are some people out there who can want to correct me and my pronunciations, or if I say something really wrong, feel free. I like to learn and become better. It's like with mini painting, one step by another. Well, I'm not really doing this advice at the moment because I'm making multiple steps at the same time. I'm talking in English. I'm painting something that I'm a bit familiar right now, but it's not really I'm not really trained, let's say like this. It's a hobby. A hobby I haven't done long. It's not something I have done for years. It's just I started more or less. And I'm talking about topics that I have to explain or discuss, and then I have to watch the chat, which is also, at the moment, it's really easy to watch the chat because there is nobody in the chat. Yeah. Not that I'm happy about. No, a little bit happy maybe, because the first test stream don't have to be like 1,000 people watching me failing. That's great. Well, I'm still talking because I've learned that in my past, as I said, I have streamed before, and talking while streaming is one of the things that you just have to do, more or less. It depends on what kind of stream, of course, you are doing. But most of the time you are streaming, yeah, that's a bad angle, you don't see anything. But I'm just painting this real fast, and then we can move on to something that you again can see. Good. Where was I? Yeah, right. Talking and painting and streaming. I need better lights. I have at this side of me, where the end of my brush is pointing. I'm painting, but I'm also pointing with the brush. I have a soft light, but I have the difficulty I cannot install it right above me. I would need something. Just give me a second. I'm right back. Just a second. So I'm back. Thanks for waiting. Or maybe if you are watching this after the live stream, just as a ooh, why is my paint so watery? Interesting. That's maybe because of the new wet palette. Interesting. Learning new things. How to deal with very, very, very thin paint. Ooh. That's interesting. That's really interesting. I'm sorry, I'm fascinated. I mean, I could now be angry because it's not like I'm used to paint or something like this and I'm live and no. Those things happen all the time. So instead of getting angry all the time, just acknowledge it. Maybe make a new puddle. I am doing now a new puddle with new paint. I'm mixing it again. With a little bit less, thinning medium, maybe a drop. So, like this. It's a little bit much paint on my brush, but I guess if I'm using my brush right, it should be fine. Soon you will see, hopefully, that what I'm doing. Right now I see that you don't see much. And that's just because the angle is a little bit bad, and I sadly don't have 5 cameras around me to get and capture every single step. That would be nice. I mean, what I really want to do, and I just have to get me how is it called? A stative is, I think that's a wrong word. Also not a tripod, because I don't want a tripod on my table. But something like this to hold my phone, so I can angle the phone above my wet palette, so I can show you guys how I'm mixing the paint, which is often very interesting, at least for me if I'm watching videos. I find this some of the most interesting steps. Also, a new camera for autofocus would be nice. With this technology, how I am using it is how I have used it for my gaming streams as the camera for my face. And there it's, how should I say, it's not that important that you have autofocus on the camera, because you can, I mean, you sit more or less always in the same position, so you don't really need it. And if I turn on autofocus on this camera, it has this annoyingly little, how is it, cage? No. Yeah, now you see again a little bit language barrier. But it has some markings then on the screen, and I don't like this. I want a clean output here. I have not bought the camera for this type of thing though, so I guess it's okay if it's sometimes a little bit out of focus. You guys just tell me if it's out of focus in the chat, if I'm live at least. And yeah, if you have any suggestions and any hints and ideas, feel free to write it. I mean, I try the best to improve my setting here if I'm really doing it often. But at the moment, I just take what I have and do something with it. And I don't know really where the journey takes me with this. I mean, it's really new for me. And there we are at the topic again from new beginnings. Oh, now you see how a mini looks with the first layer of paint on it. It's, how should I say? Flat. I think flat is oh, I have missed a spot. Ooh, that can happen too. and I have now touched with my brush because I moved this kind of rope he has around him. I can fix this later. Fixing stuff later is important at the beginning of a mini, I guess. Oh, not I guess, but it's my how I work, or how I started to work. Because if you start to fix things early, you never stop fixing. It's like programming at some point. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I really can compare programming with painting. That's an interesting thing. A really interesting thing. I could try it. Well, if you compare this, I have talked about the fix mistakes later. Maybe that's comparable to the topic of don't improve the software too early. By the way, I am mixing now at the moment a little bit a lighter shade of this green, so I can start to paint the mid-tone. I will call it mid-tone of this frog. Now I have more the shade color. For more advanced stuff, if I would be a little bit more advanced with painting, I would suggest to put maybe even a little bit of blue in there for the shades. At the moment I have just taken a dark green, but if you take blue in it, then it gets this cold shade, which makes it more interesting to look at. Let's say it like this. I have not studied art or something, but that's what I have learned from many YouTube tutorials. And I'm out of focus again. Woo! And that's quite interesting with the shade. I want this froggy really popping out with the green, and I have managed to do this with my other mini, but somehow at the moment I just don't feel it like it pops at the moment. Maybe I just have to paint and paint and paint until I get where I want to. At the moment it's just a slightly lighter green. Put a little bit more yellow in it. We will get where we want, and if not, we have learned something, hopefully. You always learn something. What I found very difficult at the moment, what I want to train at some point is to beneath different things in mini painting. There are so many difficult things in mini painting. But one thing is to get the back shadow right. I still paint like the color is from above, the light comes from above, so the lighter parts are more or less from top, but also at the back I'm also doing this a little bit. Maybe I'm doing it too much on the back, so the back can be a little bit darker. But you see here the little, I call it muscles on the back. Those are really tricky to get, but I don't want to get them too bright, because they are so deep in this part of the ropes and everything. I don't think there is much color going there. On the other hand, here, the upper side of the body, I think there we can take a little bit more color. Just a little more of this fresh green. not a green person per se, but I like frogs with green. Toads, on the other hand, I think they have to be more brownish. But just in general, I don't want to limit some fantasy ideas with colorful toads or frogs in brown or stuff like this. I like to see many different ideas how to paint those guys. And that's making this hobby so interesting. You have the same model over and over from different person, but every model looks different. Everyone painting it different. That's a thing that is just satisfying to see. You have an idea how to paint a thing, but there is no right or wrong. That's what I want to say. There is no right or wrong how you can paint this stuff. Even if you paint something and it's just looking bad, that can happen. I have painted a dwarf and I have put it on my Instagram anyway, even if I find it totally blah. Because you will always have bad things, and mostly your eye say it's bad, but you don't know how to improve what you feel is bad, or you don't even know what is bad. And that's because your eye is has more knowledge, let's say like this. You know that something is wrong. But to know what is a different kind of skill. At least in my opinion. I mean, everything I say here, I'm not a doctor, or I'm not how's it called, those people who are looking out with TOS and painting and talking cat. Talking and painting. Not a really easy thing to do simultaneously. And then even in another language. Great idea, Cat, to do this. But anyway, we are doing this now. And we improve. Yeah, you know those guys. So every advice I give is just an opinion. Everything I say is just an opinion. And keep in mind that I might say something and mean it in a different way. As always, it's with everything. If you talk with people, that's always a difficult thing to really get what they are saying, but in the right way, how they are saying it. I find this really challenging at some point. And I have heard many people that find this challenging too. Yeah. You don't see any differences, right? Not really, especially if the focus is out. Oh, I just mess a little bit with this. Maybe like this is good. It's a little bit more on the right side of the screen, but maybe you see it better. Yeah. Just clean my brush real fast. If you have color too long on your brush, especially if you have so nice sable-tooth, no, not sable-tooth hair, sable hair color, nice brushes. Let's say just nice brushes, if I can say it at the moment in English, like those, the Artis Opus series, that's real hair, and you don't want to mess those up. There are many YouTube tutorials out there which explain how to treat your brushes right and so on. And one thing I have learned is to not let the paint long on the brush. Clean your brush even if you paint afterwards with the same color again, because if the color dries on the brush, it's getting, yeah, how should I say, it's getting a little bit difficult then to get the color out of the brush. I mean, maybe you see it like this at the moment. Maybe I have to thin just the colors a little bit more. That could also be the case. That could also be the case with you. If you are painting and the color just don't goes away from your brush, that you need to put a little bit more water in it, or thinner medium, whatever you use to thin down your paint. Could be that you just need a little bit more water. Now at this point here, I just want a small brush stroke there, but maybe I have to the brush is maybe a little bit more yellow, please. Yeah, mixing paint is also something like magic for me. I think I get where I want to, but I have always difficulties to get the right amount of paint. Not on the brush itself, but on the wet palette. I often have the feeling I am getting too much color, or anyway. I'm really concentrating now on the miniature, and you don't see anything. That's just so difficult to get right. Oh my gosh, I am so how should I say it? I admire those YouTubers who are making those YouTube videos from with painting. They just get the camera angle right, and I mean, yeah, they have also worked hard to make this possible, and I guess they know now how they have to angle all this stuff. And maybe I need just a little bit a smaller brush size to get where I want to. So let's take another brush size. I have now here a 2 from the Artis Opus Series S. Let's go to smaller. That's a 0. Maybe this is better. Maybe I get where I want with this brush here. It's a little bit smaller. Now this time I don't forget to wet the brush first a little bit before I start painting. Not like at the start of the stream. So now let's see if we can achieve what I want to achieve here. On the side, this little string of, yeah, it's difficult, but I think I got it a little bit. It's not really, yeah. What I'm doing here is layering the lights and shadows on it. It's a technique I have learned on the internet. There are many good videos out there, really good ones. I like to watch Lila the Mini Witch. It's great. It's great how she explains things. It's a different way than other mini painters are explaining those things, and I just like to hear the same thing from different people, because then you can understand it. I paint again somewhere where you don't see anything, and what I find very interesting, on camera it looks worse than if I watch it with my eyes. I guess I have to glaze it up afterwards, so that it's less that jump in color is a little bit big, let's say it like this. And I think we have to correct this then afterwards, but it's just a step after layering. You can then start glazing, which means that you get those different colors, and I just messed up again. Yeah, brush control is something I have also to learn, and that's something you really should, or not really should learn, but something that comes with time and training and everything. And there you see that I'm not a proficient painter, just a hobby guy or woman, however. So I don't speak anything at the moment because I'm just concentrating on getting those highlights at the right places. So now here the thumb of this frog also needs a little bit more light. Good. Let's go now here. I'm still getting too much. Oh, I'm shaking. I'm really shaking. I guess that's maybe because I'm a little bit nervous because streaming right now, and then it's not good to shake if you're painting. So, but I guess I have made it quite decently. And I mean, it's not something that I sell. And if I would sell, it's just something that would come with it at the moment, I guess. Here the head of this frog can be a little bit lighter, because often you want the attention of the people on the head of the Mini, and to get there is to make it lighter. People always look, or often focus first on the things that are light and faces. Faces are also something that people look often, and eyes, and that's why eye painting on miniature that are so small is somehow important and somehow not important at all. Why is it not important? Well, it's so small. And except you are painting for a competition or something, most people don't really look at it at so close. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, maybe it matters, but it's not that important that the eyes are really, really good. If you mess it up really bad, yeah, then maybe it's still important. But to make it simple in those sizes I am painting right now, it's all you have to do. And here you see on my froggy legs, I have there no in-between color. I have more or less directly the highlight colors, and I think this looks quite nice. It's from the dark directly to the light. Contrasting in such small size is a very important thing, and I just messed up a little bit, but it's okay. That's okay, we can always fix it. Because it's so small, people will have difficulty to see things, and to make things better visible, you can put up the contrast. It's also what people have to do sometimes if they have a bad eyesight or something. They if they have difficulties to see. So just a little bit brush cleaning. And where you do not want to have paint, I know there are so many videos out there, but I think I will say it, is here in the ferrule of the brush. So try to avoid to getting paint up there. I haven't painted the belly of this little froggy. So let's paint the belly, but just the upper parts of it, because the upper parts are with light, the down parts are in shadow. Just a little bit more in this direction. So now here we have his foot. I think we have painted this foot already with the mid, let's call it the mid color. Maybe it's a wrong term, but I'm not an artist, so don't hang me on this, like we would say. On camera, funny thing is, that's very interesting. In this part here, I think it looks worse with because there is somehow a little bit much contrast. But on the foot, I think it's quite interesting there to look at. I think I like it how it looks there. How much contrast is. So we have now painted quite a light thing. Maybe it's time for us to use I call it sunny yellow, because I think AK Interactive has called this color sunny yellow, and it's just a yellow with a little bit white. I mean, I could mix it with, if I just use a little bit white with this color. This color is named Sunray, but so not so far away. Because I think if I put more yellow in it, it gets to maybe one layer of yellow. Maybe one layer of yellow could just give a little bit more pop to the mini before I go to the more whiter highlights, let's say like this. So let's see, put a dot here. I think that could be nice, really. And I just take a look on my stream how it works, and it works excellently. At least YouTube is Google. Google says it's good so far, so I'm happy. And because I have just talked and watched and did so many things at the same time, maybe I could also share this stream, because I mean, I stream here and maybe some friends wanna join. I don't know. I just don't know. I just don't want to make a habit on posting on every Discord channel I have or something. So here we go. I don't want to make this every time while I stream. That's just because this is a test stream, and I'm testing how this stream thing works with mini painting. So I guess it's okay if we make just a short break. Oh, then let's call it a break. I don't know if it's really a break. I mean, that's it there. And I don't even have any thumbnail or something, just because I'm starting freshly. I just do stuff now, and yeah, trying things out. And that's an important thing. You don't have to be perfect at the start of something. I guess that's why often people do not, how should I say it, do not even start something, because they have the feeling it has to be perfect from the start, and that's not the case. That's just not the case. So now let's see. I just put it one layer with this yellowish green in it before we switch to the more white yellow, so we can add a little bit more highlights. And I'm really trying things out now, because that's the first time on stream, and it's not my first Froggy, but I try to, every time I paint something, and something that is quite similar, I try to learn from the experience and try to make it the next time just a little bit better. And I guess the last time I was happy with the green. I really was happy with the green, but maybe you can improve it. You can always make it a little bit better as last time. And as long as you don't pressure yourself to really be better, just to try something new the next time, I guess you will get automatically better without pushing yourself. And I'm out of focus again. Woohoo! Yeah, we will learn this too. And also maybe we need a smaller brush for those things. I mean, it's working, but I guess it's a little bit, it could be a little bit better if I just have a little bit of a smaller brush size here too. I don't really like the brush strokes everywhere I have, but it really is getting, it's getting a little bit too yellow, I guess. Just a little touch of more green in it. Maybe I can correct this. Now my color is running out. I have to mix more. And then if you mix more and you are not the perfectly trained artist, or you are doing this for a long time, you always get a little bit a different shade of it. And that's okay, but that's something I can improve. Just to watch out. And I'm out of focus again. Just to watch out which shade you have. And now I guess it's just a little bit more yellow should be okay. Just a touch. Just a touch of yellow. So it really gets this green. So I'm quite happy with this, and I have forgotten this arm here again. I think I haven't painted it since I have made the first layer on it, so it's a little bit bleh. I guess if this would be a miniature for somebody else, I would go back and add the other colors again. But it's a mini just for me, so it's okay if it's just a little bit messy. It's a learning experience. So now we have here those little knuckles, a little bit lighter, and I think I can make here also those wrinkles. Maybe I call it wrong, but I call it now wrinkles on the skin, a little bit more present with a little bit touch of highlight. And here a little bit, and there a little bit, and everywhere a little bit, and we're getting to a point where we're getting happy. Or that's maybe the wrong way to say it, because the painting itself is something that makes me happy, at least. It's not that I can paint every single second of my free time. That's not the case, but if I sit down and paint, and I know I have time, and I just do my thing, mostly it makes me happy, especially if I finish something where I say, yeah, that looks quite okay. Then this makes me happy. And a hobby like this is there to make you happy. If you're painting and it's not your job, but it doesn't make you happy, then you're doing something wrong. Or it's the wrong hobby for you, maybe. There are times where you have bad painting days. I have had this also with some bases lately. I just messed up. I have thinned paint so badly that it was more of a glaze or a filter. And then it just, I can show it to you. I can show it to you. I can show it to you. I have it still here. Here. It's just brown that got into the recesses of this stony thing. I wanted to make it brown more or less at the highlights, but again, I don't know why I even thinned this paint. But now it's a dirty rock. And I guess I will dry brush over it, and then we see how it turns out. That was a not so great. Oh, yeah. And this can happen too, and that's very sad. Shit. You don't have hate that. That you kill your mini. No frog anymore, and I don't know where it went. Ooh hoo hoo. Where is now the frog? Where is it going? Oh yeah. It's really damaged. Oh yeah. And that's on stream! Yay! I have made something. I have not made something, I have damaged something. Great. Yeah, I guess I will call this a day with a damaged mini. There is an arm. Maybe I can reattach it, because it's so small. I have lost the dagger of it. Oh, sad little froggy. Sad little froggy. Maybe I find the dagger. Maybe not. We will see. And maybe I can fix it and maybe not. Maybe it's just a project for the garbage can. But hey, at least we have made a skin. Sadly, I will now not be able to paint this any further. For at least not at the moment. Because it's just so damaged. I just got with my elbows on it and it's splintered. I hope I have now better or different resin. I can show it here. Hopefully this is a little bit more flexible. I somewhere have some where I can show it. I have one mini, yeah, exactly here. Here, and it's a little bit more flexible. So I hope with this material it will not happen like this, where we only have the legs now. Yay! Again, I guess I call it a day. I will clean up my brushes and my wet palette and maybe print this froggy again. That can happen, guys. And it's not a bad lesson. First of all, you have learned that I'm just, how should I say it? There is a word in English, but I can't remember it right now. Anyway, things happen, even on stream, and that's a great lesson also for you, because if you have managed to paint this, break it and paint it again. If this makes, of course, if this is something you pursue as a job even, or something that you make very often, because it learns you to not give a, about something. If you care too much about something like this, you are afraid of overpainting again, or if you have done the base coat and you think, oh, this color looks just so perfect, you will not paint any further, so you give up on the chance to make it better, and you give up on the chance to learn something. So yeah, that's the lesson for today. Beginnings are scary. And if you break something on painting, even if you make something really bad, you can overpaint it. You can strip the paint. I never done this anyway, but or you can throw it away, print it again if you have a 3D printer, of course. If you have, if you buy the minis, you can rebuy it. Yeah, that's a little bit more expensive, of course. But I also think they are not that easily broken like this. So you can paint it again. I'm sure of it. I know you can do it, as I can't just throw this little guy away if I cannot find the digger of it. And yeah, paint it again, or maybe just let it be for a while and focus in on maybe this project I have on my table. Ah, this is a big project, I know. It's a bust from Lutz, also from Lutz. I have not only things from Lutz at the moment. And yeah, thanks for watching. For those who are watching now the video, leave me a comment if this was a funny stream. I mean, the end is really funny, huh? Action, pure action here. We have killed a bad frog. Wow! And a like if you liked it, and subscribe if you want more of it. As I said, it's just the beginning, and we will see where the journey takes me. So have a nice day, and bye. I wave. Now here's the camera. That's interesting. Bye.